Arthur Morgan's relationship with Bill Williamson in Red Dead Redemption 2 is defined by tension, loyalty, and a growing sense of frustration that reflects the wider decay of the Von der Linde gang. Bill is one of the gang's most volatile members, loud, aggressive, and deeply insecure, while Arthur is increasingly measured, self-aware, and burdened by responsibility. Their dynamic reveals how differing responses to fear and leadership can fracture even long-standing bonds. Bill has been with Dutch for years, but unlike Arthur, he struggles with self-worth and craves validation. He often compensates with aggression, bravado, and cruelty, especially toward civilians or weaker gang members. Arthur recognizes this immediately. Their camp conversations and mission banter are filled with irritation rather than camaraderie, yet Arthur never completely dismisses Bill. Instead, he treats him like a dangerous liability that still deserves protection, which says a lot about Arthur's sense of loyalty. Arthur frequently acts as Bill's stabilizer during missions. When Bill's temper flares or his plans go wrong, Arthur steps in to control the situation, whether that means redirecting Bill's anger or cleaning up his mistakes. This isn't because Arthur believes Bill is right, but because Arthur understands the cost of letting chaos spread. These moments highlight Arthur's leadership style: practical, corrective, and focused on preventing unnecessary harm rather than asserting dominance. As Dutch's authority begins to crack, Bill becomes increasingly defensive and reactionary. He clings to Dutch's approval and later gravitates toward Micah's manipulative encouragement, which validates his worst instincts. Arthur sees this shift happening in real time. His growing frustration with Bill isn't just about Bill's behavior. It's about what Bill represents: a man choosing anger over reflection, obedience over conscience. Arthur's responses often carry disappointment rather than outright hatred, suggesting he once hoped Bill could be more than what he's becoming. The contrast between Arthur and Bill becomes sharper as Arthur's illness and moral awakening progress. Arthur begins questioning the gang's actions and their impact on innocent people, while Bill doubles down on violence as a way to avoid confronting his fear and confusion. This divergence makes their interactions increasingly uncomfortable. Arthur no longer shares Bill's appetite for brutality, and Bill resents Arthur's restraint, interpreting it as weakness or judgment. What makes their relationship tragic is that Arthur understands Bill better than Bill understands himself. Arthur sees Bill's insecurity, his need to belong, and his fear of being left behind in a changing world. Yet Arthur also knows he cannot save everyone. Bill refuses introspection, choosing instead to follow the loudest voice offering certainty. This inevitability weighs heavily on Arthur, reinforcing the theme that loyalty alone is not enough to prevent self-destruction. By the end of the game, Bill Williamson stands as a cautionary counterpart to Arthur Morgan. Both are products of Dutch's ideology, but only one is willing to confront the cost of that life. Arthur's strained relationship with Bill reflects the emotional reality of watching someone choose the worst version of themselves. It's not just the story of two outlaws drifting apart.